Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a follow-up review on the Kabuki ShouldeRok. So if you haven't watched my initial video, please go ahead and click here. It'll take you back to my first impressions video and the unboxing where I show this thing coming out of the packaging. When I did the unboxing video, I said I was going to use it for 30 days straight and see if I noticed any difference. For context on that, I am about 9 months post-shoulder surgery where I had a fairly significant, I wouldn't say like a major repair, but it was a fairly significant repair to include the bicep, 2 of the 4 rotator cuff tendons, as well as a labrum tear. So bottom line, up front, I love this piece of equipment. It is amazing, and I'm going to continue using it. I'm actually on day like 35 or something like that. I kind of stopped counting after a while, and I kind of stopped posting. So when I initially started my 30 days, I started posting every single day on my Instagram, which you can click on below and subscribe to in case you want to see some of the upcoming equipment. You'll see them in action. So what I started to do is I started doing my 30-day challenge, and I would post every single video to Instagram. I think I did this for maybe the first 5 days. And what I caught a whole bunch of in my comments was a little bit of hate. It seems like people are always more willing to comment hate than they are like, oh, looks awesome, looks good job. They're always like, $190 for a stick. I can make that out of stuff I find in my garage. And as much as that might be true, there's a couple things that make this $190 stick 100% worth $190. I'm gonna cover those real quick. One, the ease of actually loading plates. Now, with the amount of space that you get on here, I could load 4 of my 10-pound plates. I could load 4 5-pound plates. So you can go all the way from just using 10s, just using change plates, from 40 pounds all the way down to 1 1/4, depending on what you want to do. Now, when you buy one of these, Chris Duffin includes a video to some unlisted YouTube videos where he goes over the how to use it. And just watching those video instructions, he says to start with like 5 pounds, which that's what I did. I barely ever went underneath that, but I have gone all the way up to 15, as in 15 pounds. And what I really found was that 15 pounds with someone about my size, about my strength, is almost more than enough. You really don't need to go above that. But if you make this at home, you're likely not going to have this nice of a loading area with this nut that is just nicely machined. It fits on there beautifully. And also it stands up on end, which I'll show you guys here. It stands up on end, which kind of makes storage of this thing a breeze. I have it tucked away between my bumper plates and my bar rack that are against the wall. Never had an issue, never had it fall over. Although all it would take is one of my little kids to just kind of like walk up and bump it, but still they never did it. The second thing that you're not gonna get is you're not gonna get this knurling. The knurling is their standard, and it is a volcano type of knurling when you look really close at it. On top of that knurling, there's a clear zinc coating that keeps this thing from oxidizing in your garage. Now, me personally, I'm more of a fan of bare steel. So if I was able to, I think I would have preferred to buy this in a bare steel, but to be 100% honest, I'm not exactly sure what it's made out of, because for how large it is, I feel like it should weigh more than it does. So another thing you're not going to get if you make this at home is this end. So in the version that I have in my hands, which is the most recent version as of August 2020, it has this kind of curved bulbous end. And the whole idea with this, and what I found that I used it for, was doing instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization or massage. And I found that this fits really nicely just in that crease right between your shoulder and your pec. There's a couple other spots it fits nicely too, like just on your pec in general for rolling it around. But generally speaking, I found it to be most effective on my upper body. I could sort of get it into my lats a little bit, but it required me to have it against a wall and then go up and down. Now on that, another thing you're probably not going to have if you make it at home is, again, going back to this end, you have the ability to put a ShouldeRok. So the ShouldeRok is Kabuki's answer to the Graston technique. It is basically an all-in-one IASTM tool, and they made it with this like ninja star-like appearance, and it actually fits onto the ShouldeRok. And it allows for you to do soft tissue mobilization by yourself. So if you wanted to hit like your lat, basically just verify which surface that you're using. And with this hand, you just kind of guide it and you're able to like take it up and down on the back. You can brace it into the floor and use it for, again, some of those same upper body areas. Up on the neck is absolutely amazing. There's a lot of possibilities. Plus, in the event of the zombie apocalypse, this is probably one of the more scary looking mace tools. You could always just sharpen this thing up and just go on a rampage, you know, if the social climate calls for it. So, can you make this at home? Yeah, you probably can. You could probably make something work, but are you gonna get this nice of a piece of kit? You're only paying $190 for something. I'm telling you, I'm gonna go ahead and admit that I'm usually someone that doesn't take my mobility as seriously as I should take it, but I truly enjoy using this. And what I found over the 30 days is that it did help me with a lot of my shoulder pain, a lot of my shoulder mobility. I was actually able to get under a straight bar just recently, comfortably. I didn't go incredibly heavy with it, but still I was able to get underneath it. I was able to get my hands in a position where I want them and had no issues. So whether it was this or whether it was my head, I don't care, because I'm gonna go ahead and say it was this, as well as I brought it up to my physical therapist, and she seemed all about it. So there are two different versions of this tool. Now, I really like the fact that you can use the ShouldeRok on the base, and my only regret is that I purchased this version and I did not purchase the breakdown version. The breakdown version would be nice for doing some of that soft tissue mobilization on yourself, because rather than having, you know, like 2.5 feet of ShouldeRok sticking out, you could just hold it by the end and just have less stick. It's not a deal killer by any means, but I wish I would have spent the extra $40. I think it's either $30 or $40 more to get the tactical breakdown version, as well as it would be easier to travel with. Now, who do I actually recommend the ShouldeRok to? First off, I recommend it to anybody that takes their mobility seriously. If you're looking for something to be the best shoulder mobility tool that you probably ever own, you really cannot go wrong with the ShouldeRok. The second group of people I'm going to recommend it to is anybody that has had any sort of shoulder repair. My shoulder repair, usually once a month, I was needing some grass stand, or I was needing some assisted mobility work when I'd go to my physical therapy appointment. And after I started using this, it was actually noticed by my physical therapy team that my shoulder was doing better and that it seemed to require a little bit less attention. I just had my like 9-month follow-up appointment with physical therapy and I'm better than expected. I'd also recommend this to anybody that trains heavy overhead or heavy like upper body movements. So I'm talking about my power lifters, I'm talking about my strongman, I'm talking about my Olympic weightlifters out there. Male and female, I'm telling you, this thing is absolutely amazing. Once you get used to the swing, and once you really kind of figure out a complex that works for you and something that you really enjoy doing, it's one of those things that you look forward to at the beginning or end or whenever you decide to actually use it. For me, when I was using it, I used it every single day. If it was an upper body training day, I would do 3 sets of 10, and I was progressive in how I loaded, so I'd do like 5 pounds, 10 pounds, and then 12. Or something along those lines, and it was basically just sets of 10 per side. So sets of 10 swinging this way, and then sets of 10 swinging this way. On non-upper body training days, I would just do 1 set of 10 just to keep up that daily routine of doing it. I'm telling you, I noticed a night and day difference. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Now, who do I not recommend this to? If you go to like Planet Fitness, or you go to Gold's Gym, or you go to any like kind of like general box gym where they kind of worry about treadmills and you're the strongest guy there, I probably wouldn't bring one of these things in there. I have this feeling that middle management might have an issue with you swinging a loaded mace around in the strength training area. It's not that I don't recommend it to you, it's that I think you should get a better gym and then go ahead and buy one of these. Now, obviously, garage gym's the way to go. The beautiful part about being a garage gym owner is I can just take this thing out, swing away. I've done it right in front, next to my vehicles. I've done it on the sidewalk. I've done it in the yard. I've done it wearing just normal street clothes. I've done it wearing gym clothes. And the worst thing that I've ever gotten was really strange looks from my brand new neighbors that just moved in next door. God bless them. But that's pretty much my review. So I highly, highly, highly recommend the ShouldeRok. I really do think it's worth the money. In the grand scheme of things, $190. I guess if you think of it as just a stick, yeah, $190 is a lot for a stick. But if you're someone that takes your mobility seriously, if you're someone that really wants to maybe open up your shoulders a little bit, get this tool. I promise that, I don't promise, but I really don't think that anybody that actually takes this tool and uses it will ever regret buying it. If you have DIY versions, I'd love to see those too. Post them up on Instagram. Go ahead and tag me in them so I can see them. But I'm telling you right now that $190 spent on this is $190 well spent, and it's something you're going to use for probably the rest of your training career, and you'll probably end up giving it away to your kids or something, depending on the kind of kids you're raising or the kind of person that you are. But that's been my review. Tell me what you guys think down below. Do you disagree? Do you think I'm just completely full of it? Am I in love with a tool that nobody else thinks really works? Tell me what you think down below. As well as please click on these videos, watch some other reviews. And I'm working on this sign off right now, and I'm trying to make it sound super awesome. But I'm not that creative, so tell me what you think about the sign off down below. So I'm just going to tell you, always be looking for something better, always be looking for something awesome, and of course, keep it badass.